Well, you see that behind me, huh? Actually, oh, there we are. The light's a little better now. But you know what that is, right? The Washington Monument, or a lot of people call it the pencil, because it's a good reference mark no matter where you are in Washington. You can see that. And oh, the White House is over there. It's by the Washington Monument. But what I want to talk about today are there about 8 programs. I mean, COVID is creating so many personal grants that I can't even keep up on them. And they're all over. They're at the federal, state, local level. And the amount of money is just astounding. It's more money than we've ever given away before in any single year. So it's doubling the amount of money. And I just heard today, listening to a podcast, the overall world has given out like $17 trillion in stimulus packages. So there's 17 trillion TRI, trillion dollars. Our country has given out 3 trillion. So it's something you have to look at, particularly now. People are in financial trouble, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. And what I put together is a list of 8 of these programs. I think everybody living in America, whether you're a citizen, not citizen, as long as you're here, you could apply. Not to every one of them, but certainly to some of them, and you should know about them. Okay, and if you haven't applied to any of these, you should take a look at it now. Okay, and I have 2 places you can look. If you remember Lesco Help, that's www.lesco.com. And I have a free service that a lot of this stuff I put on for people to know, so you don't have to give me money if you really want to learn. And that's at www.free.lesco.com. So free.lesco.com, and then /corona relief. So free.lesco.com/corona relief, and you can get this stuff for free. Okay, the one thing I think is to realize that people don't know about is the pandemic employment insurance. And it's really, you heard the old employment insurance, but the pandemic employment insurance is much broader. It's a lot more money. It's up to like $1,200–1,400 a week, you could get, and that's run through the state unemployment offices. It's for people who are taking care of people too. You didn't have to have a job beforehand. There's certain categories. There's a whole bunch of categories. It's run by the states, so it's a little different in every state. Actually, you could use it for kids in the summer who can't get a summer job. They're able to use it. Who would ever thought that? College students come home for the summer and can't get a job. They're able to use it. So they could get, $900 a week or something, sitting at home playing video games. And that's what people don't realize, that you got to take care of somebody, or your hours are just cut down. You didn't lose your job, but you lost hours. So you're not making as much. See, there's all different kind of ways to do this. You'd be a gig economy worker, never had a normal job in your life, and still be available. So find that out. It's in your state. So put the name of your state and then put pandemic employment insurance. Okay. Now the other thing is the EIDL. This is one of 2 programs that are new with the SBA. I've talked a lot about that earlier. A lot of Lesco Help members have used this, and a lot of Lesco members have used the pandemic and getting a lot of money in that. But every day I get a handful of more members. They say, hey, I applied 3 hours ago or 3 days ago and got my money already. So it's a grant and a loan. A lot of these programs, the misnomer is they call it a loan when it's really a grant. The thing is, you always apply. I did a video the other day. I said, just apply. Nobody... And so they say no, or you refuse the money, or whatever. But if you don't apply, you certainly don't do anything. You could always think of 50 reasons not to apply. So that's the EIDL. You can find that at sba.gov and EIDL. The form is right there. Don't believe the description on who's eligible. You have to start applying to the program to see all the different categories that are available, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a contract worker, whether you're a freelancer. There's so many programs, so many different categories that aren't mentioned in the description. So you have to get into the weeds and into applying to see who really is eligible. And then you apply anyway and let them say no. Okay, so that's it. Now, we also have the PPP. Remember that? Now that's a lot easier. That's been around for a while. They still have 100 billion more they're trying to give out, and there's only about another month's worth that'll be around before it's going to go away. So look at that. That's at the SBA.gov also. PPP, that's a little more involved. You have to work with a financial intermediary because they make a lot of money out of helping you with the application. And there's a link on the application on SBA to find local people and try to find a small bank, community banks or something like that. PayPal used to be doing it. I'm not sure they're doing it anymore. Okay, now there's a lot of programs now for rent and mortgages. Now, one thing is that they can't, there's laws now about whether they could evict you or not. There's a lot stopping, and it's different in every state. And you could find out about that. But more importantly is to find out about these programs that give you emergency money to pay your rent, to pay your mortgage, to pay utility bills or your car payments, all those kinds of things. There's thousands of these kinds of programs popping up all around the country, and they're hard to find. But one way, and I have a video on this, I've been showing you about how to do this earlier, is that you go to Google and search for these words. Put COVID, COVID, then say rent, because if they have rent, they have the other ones, but you could do separate searches for all these. So COVID, rent, grants, and then the name of your state. Okay, now when you do that, you'll probably get about 100 million websites. Okay, but you want to narrow this down. And the way to narrow this down is in the Google search bar up there, there's something called advanced. And you click on advanced, and in the advanced, you want to change the date of the website. In other words, when did that website start? You want to say, oh, the sun is moving. I'm going into the sun. I get the shade here a little bit. So when did that start? And they have it doesn't matter, any date, or 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Well, start 1 year and see what that is. If that looks overwhelming, go to 1 month. Because see, the sooner or the more current that this was put up, the more likely they are to have money. Because if that's a COVID program and it's been already up there for 3 or 4 months, you may not have any more money left, and it may not be worthwhile. So what I would do first is put 1 month. Start checking all of those. If they don't work, then you go back and put 1 year and see what else pops up to do that. And remember, every time you find a program that you may want to apply for, contact them directly. Just don't fill out a form. Contact them directly. See if you're eligible. And then most important, if they say, no, you're too tall, small, or smell, or something, they make up a reason why it's not for you. Then say, where else can I do? Is there a program like this? Because they're more likely than anybody else to be aware of other programs like that. So that's why you use that not only for getting money, but also for finding additional sources, because they're better than I am at this, because they do that all the time, just in that area. Okay, so that's important. So that's for mortgage, for rent, for utility bills, or car payments, all those kinds of things. Okay, now the other thing is job training. Now, what's great about we're all locked up forever is try to get a handle on maybe a better paying career. What is available to give you money to train for free to something that will earn you more money? Now that's something you want to consider. It may or may not work, but you want to know about the options. If you don't know your options, you can't make up options in your head that may or may not be there. You have to get out there and see what options are there to actually use them. The best place to start this is go to your Career One Stop, CareerOnestop.org. Go there, and then how to find your local office. There'll be a link there. You put in your zip code and then contact your local office, because these are government programs. They have lots and lots of training money to help you train for a better job, whether it's 3 months, 3 years, or whatever. And even other programs to know about to give you money to live on while you're training for another job. And then the next 30 or 40 years, you'll be making a hell of a lot more money, okay? Now, the other thing people have, I think, problems with is healthcare related problems. This is big in our country, right? Because it's so expensive and a lot of people aren't covered, or they have too many deductible, all this kind of stuff. Here's a website to start with. And remember, there's thousands of sources for anything that I tell you about. I'm going to go across this guy. Uh, the shadow keeps moving. This sun doesn't stay straight. Damn, it's like my sun. and so there's always thousands. You have a county health department and everything, but I think here's I'm trying to find one source to start. So this is the one source to start for healthcare. It's called NeedyMeds, MEDS.org. Now you go and find all the programs in your state. It's for dental, it's for healthcare, it's for mental health or whatever. It's very well organized. They're a nonprofit organization. What money programs are you in your state? I would play with that a lot. How to get free prescription drugs, all this kind of stuff. I mean, they're all separate websites and others that will help, and they don't have everything, but boy, they're close. It's the best single source. I'm always looking for organizations that do what I do and don't charge money. I got to charge money. I'm a mortgage guy who wants to be paid every week or month or whatever. So that's needymeds.org. Okay. Now here's the other thing. We all have debt problems, right? And especially now, it's more. What the hell are you going to do with that? There's lots of free help for that. And so don't go Googling. See, Google is your biggest enemy unless you know how to use it. In other words, like a car, unless you know how to use it, man, it's a dangerous weapon, right? So Google's the same way. It's very practical and it's there, but you have to know how to use it. So don't look there. If you're looking for help with debt and stuff, there you go to HUD.gov, HUD.gov, and put counseling. So HUD.gov, and you'll see they have counselors all over the world, all over the country, in every county for almost anything, whether it's financial, it's debt. When in doubt, just put housing counselor, because they could direct you to the right one. Foreclosure counseling, seniors, all kinds of things that you'll see in there. And they're all free. See, these are people that get grants to help you. Now, if you have debts, and they'll help you, you want to consolidate, call them first. Don't go online. The biggest, person, if you put consolidate your debt or credit card debt or whatever it is like that, the number one site you're going to find is somebody who's just been sued for $25 million for screwing people. See, that's what happened. These people on the internet, man, they're just after your money. You want to find people who are in life more than just to get money from you. There's no way, it's hard to find that because we all have to live, but there are better people in life and they're out there. They just take a little more effort to find them, and that's what I'm trying to do, is teach people how to use the internet. The internet's not going away. Don't ignore it. A lot of good stuff there, but the good stuff is only about 5%. So how are you going to find it under 1 trillion websites? That's what I'm trying to do. The other source, if you have a business and have debt problems or whatever, then a friend of mine, I helped her get out of all that problems by going to the local Small Business Development Center, SBDC. And those you could find, go to Americas, AMERICAS, and then SBDC.org. You put in your zip code and find the local office and make an appointment. They have virtual appointments now and everything. It's different wherever you live. And see, the help is really local. So local people have all kinds of different requirements sometimes and what they do and everything. So you got to check it out. And again, if they can't help you, you ask them, where else can I go? Because you're not the first person with this problem. You want to be the last one. And everybody found it all right. So all those things, I think, to get through this COVID thing, that's a handy eight sources there, for any problem in life that you have. And don't go Google on the internet before you, try those things. If you remember, again, Let's Go Help. I'll give you all the sources and reports on all these things and how to make extra money. I'm about to update a report on making extra income at home. That costs nothing. Don't buy anything that somebody promises you're going to make money. Somebody that promises extra money as long as you give them money. Don't do anything like that. Yeah, actually, it sounds like what I do, right? Give me $20 and I'll show you how to make a lot of money. Eh, the problem, that's why I try to keep it $20. People are asking for 30,000, 500 or anything, $5,000, $1,000. I mean, the Trump real estate thing was $30,000 that we're getting from people, and they're all government programs. If you remember, I'll show you all those things. I got a report that teaches you how to use every government program for real estate in the world. And that's available. But if you have the money and you want to do it, that's fine. It's the, you want to see who that is? That's the Washington Monument people picking up trash. It's nice. No, I feel very fortunate. I live in a city, see all these nice parks and everything. You pay for them and I use it. Now, DC is great. I mean, it's an international city, and it's not like overbearing and overwhelming like New York or San Francisco or something like that. Here you can't have a building that's higher than the Capitol. I don't know if you can see the Capitol on the other side of the Washington Monument. Probably can't. But here on the other side is Abe Lincoln's down the road there. You see Abe? He's on the other side there. That's where I usually go. And the White House, I'll show you this way. The White House is only a block away behind all those trees over there. No, over there. And that's, well, I hope that helps. Remember, just be careful using Google thinking you're going to get an answer. Google's great for spending money, but if you learn how to use it, you could use it right. And there's a lot of good people out there doing good work that want to help you, but you got to give them a chance, and it takes effort on your part, a lot of effort. Listen, I don't know how, and that's the problem with Google. You're going to find people who promise you that it's easy, and it's not. Because they want to get your money, and the more they tell you it's real easy, then the more likely you are to give them money. But it's not. You may by accident help. Otherwise, you're going to get one source that'll lead to another source, then lead to another source until you find the right source for you. It's sort of like dating, right? If you found one date and found the person that you're going to marry forever, man, you're just lucky as hell. That's the same way with finding money or help. If you make one phone call and get everything you need, man, you're just lucky as hell. The rest of us have to work at it.